nonsense, but it really isn't. Not when you start looking deep into it. Give you one of them. Yeah. Well, on the platform from Mars, you shouldn't be able to see it. That's 65 miles away. Now, if you know, on the wall, over curvature, but it should be hidden. Yeah. You can come find just that. You can go. You can see that Portland lighthouse. You can see not Portland. Portland's near. No, not Portland. It's Edison lighthouse. Yes. But there's so many anomalies. We live on a flat Earth, a flat plane, and what we've been told at school is lies. Besides the concept, they are wonderful part of them pictures. Not straight you what's being odd. This is the curvature, so you can work out it. That's to get your magnifying glass out. There's a lot of anomalies. Look at that, for instance. That's the melting point in space in the thermosphere. That's 2,500 degrees Celsius, and the melting point of aluminium is 660. That's satellites. Stayed. But there's a lot to gravity. We know gravity as just things that fall on the floor. Do you know how to explain it to yourself? Do you remember your schooling? What is gravity? Because we take all these things as just a given. You know, we're told of it, it's gravity. But we never question it. But gravity, could it not be density? That things are heavier and things are lighter than others? Hence that's why a balloon goes up, and gravity's selective. Kind of says, well, you know, like we'll keep you to the floor, we'll keep all the oceans to the floor, to the ball there, but we'll allow balloons to rise up. And then they say, well, yeah, because it's got helium. But I don't know if you've ever flown in a balloon, and then you can scratch it on your head or on the carpet, and then you can stick it to the ceiling. Yeah. And what, gravity is selective again because of a bit of static? Really? So gravity is a theory. You've heard the term theory of gravity. It's never been proven. There's an eye-opener.
There's a lot of,
Look into it. 200 proofs Earth has not spinning ball. It's written on there by Dubay. There's a few other places to go as well. Most of them are on YouTube. But you're being lied to. Water.
Yeah,
the dynamics of water. Come on, we can look out to sea. There is no curvature. I think we're programmed, and sometimes we think that we can see Earth's curvature, and even when we fly in a plane, we think that we can see it. You cannot see Earth's curvature. Go on, say what you want. It's
very thought-provoking, isn't it? You just take everything for granted.
Yeah, well, I'm what's called a flat earther. Yeah. And it's the biggest thing on the internet at the moment. The biggest thing, the biggest topic there is. There's millions of people talking about flat earth now. And we're just questioning. I'm not asking you to believe anything here that I've said or presented to you. What we're doing is just getting you to go home and question it and look for yourself, because do you believe governments lie to you?
Yeah.
Well, do you think they may have lied to our education system? So we've been brought up and indoctrinated and brainwashed into believing that we live in this way with no proof whatsoever. No proof.
Be a really good life Sunday reading, isn't it?
Give you something to think about. I mean, look at that one, for instance. That's from the International Space Station. I took that one myself. You know where you can see, supposedly you can see 24 hours a day of footage. You don't, they kind of loop it every 2 hours or so. But it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, that's what they say. What's so odd about that? You can see you can see that it's getting darker that way. But what's kind of missing, do you think?
There's no sun on the...
there's no continuation of the Earth. That might be just blacked out.
Well, in that case, I've lied and I'm photoshopping. But no, that is not blanked out. As I say, that was 24-hour footage so, as they say, and to me that captures the still. But there's lots of anomalies. If you look, I think you've heard of like bubbles in space, astronauts drowning in space. You put that in the internet, and that's been on all the news all around the world. Astronauts drowning in space in their helmets.
Oh yeah, I've read about
You've heard that?
But that's where they get.
I know what they explain, what they say.
I know.
And have you heard of the anomalies of all the bubbles that are being seen in space? Bubbles? You check bubbles in space out. There's thousands of them. Thousands. But we were just talking about the melting points of the thermosphere. The thermosphere is over 2,500 degrees Celsius. And aluminium melts at 600.
Thank you.
And I take it 600 degrees.
So the thermosphere, though, what
The International Space Station's there in the thermosphere, along with a lot of satellites. They exist in the thermosphere.
What's it so hot up there then?
Well, that's right. It goes. I mean, in different layers. It's colder, and then it's hotter, and then they say in the exosphere.
Yeah, but is that 500 degrees centigrade in direct sunlight?
Well, this is the thing. There's radiator thing, but these are the things that have been tested in a vacuum chamber down here on planet Earth. And
don't worry, I'm not far away from you.
Look at that one. That's an anomaly. That's Isle of Man, you know what that is. Is that cool? Why can we see it on a good day? Why can we see it?
Because how high?
We shouldn't be seeing that. And I've seen lots of places long distance away, and we shouldn't be seeing them.
Yeah, but is it that might be optical?
As in refraction?
Yeah.
Yeah. But 2,000
See,
2,000 feet.
The thing that I don't
refraction.
get
What?
is, you know,
Okay.
how did they take a picture that they put the marble from Apollo 7?
No, you can check this out for yourself. This is Robertson's, and he creates the marble. At first it used to be done with artists, and they used to paint it. But he now, on the latest one that they put on the iPhone, he creates it, and it's all done by composites. You know, they take a little picture, take a little picture, take a little picture, take a little picture, and then they stitch them all up on a blank 3D sphere. And you can go on, you can hear him talk about it. He works for NASA, he talks about it, and he says that's how you get your globe. We have never seen a photograph of the Earth, ever. Because they've never presented like negatives. There's no negatives of any photographs. What they do present to us is composites. And it says quite clearly on NASA's website, I've written it down there, but it does say quite clearly that they are all composites on their website. They do not claim that any of them are photographs.
Right, here's the next one from an aviation point of view. Picture will show that we should be able to fly quite easily, quite quickly to Australia.
Yes, this is so we're here,
Yeah.
and then if we were flying to Australia, we would go right the way across. Okay, and coincidentally, we're meant to like if you were in like Sydney, you would fly to go to Santiago, you would fly right the way across. But nearly all the planes they don't. They all go up and back down. And yeah, that's right, the Great Circle route. I mean, like, but that makes sense on a flat Earth. It would be just a straight line. And we're talking about aeroplanes. Aeroplanes, they fly to the artificial horizon.
Yeah.
Okay. So artificial horizons, you know, like, they put it in autopilot and they fly to auto. We've spoken to hundreds and thousands of pilots. They do not dip their nose every sort of like 10 minutes every time they go like 100 miles or so. They do not, because they'd have to be dipping their nose. We're on a ball, so they've got to dip their nose.
Well, no, because gravity.
No, it doesn't. Because that's for people who believe in gravity. The theory of gravity. The theory. Never been proven. It is density and buoyancy with static electricity. That is what you perceive as gravity, what you were told at school. Density and buoyancy. Because if gravity exists, why is it selective? Why does it allow balloons to go up?
Well, they're very...
You know this then, you know it.
Well, no,
Because it's helium. It's lighter than outside. Why does why that I put blow up a balloon myself with my air, and I scratch that balloon on my head to create static, and I can just put it on the ceiling?
that's completely different.
Because well, why isn't gravity pulling that down?
Well, it is. Because eventually, when the static dies off, it will
It will fall down. As in, because it's the same way, it's heavier because of the balloon itself is heavier than the air around it.
That's right. So if you get something that's lighter than the air around it, you get lift.
So density and buoyancy. Gravity has never been proven.
Well, all right then. Gravity must exist because they don't make force gravity on the International Space Station.
I don't believe that exists. I think that's all CGI, and I know this to be CGI. We've got too many proofs about the International Space Station.
No, that's where you're losing me. I'd go with some of the rest of it.
The International Space Station. Well, why is it that you would believe that?
Well, A, you can see it.
Sorry, you can see something. You've never seen the International Space Station, but you can see something. I'll agree.
Yeah,
You see
and if
something
you look
like
through a
that, because
telescope, you will see it look pretty much like an international
Well,
space.
I'll agree. Yeah.
So,
But no. But I mean, like,
and Tim Peake's been there, my friend.
rubbish. Have you seen his footage? Have you seen it?
Yeah, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, take that away. And
All right, I will.
at least give yourself. At least give yourself 200 proofs. Do the first half an hour of it. Half an hour of 200 proofs. And see how you feel. All right. Nice to meet you. All right.
The earth is flat and stationary. Planets are starting to roll around us.
Earth is not a spinning ball. The Earth is flat. Oh my God. Oh, where does that come from? Is that what's on the
Swimming in the sea.
Really?
Yeah, you're brave. Very brave.
I'm just testing the earth.
Yes, Eric, you really do. You really do have to look them up. So, we've all been indoctrinated with beliefs, with no second-hand information, no proof, gravity, we're taking all this as given. Gravity doesn't exist, then they're just parroting. Yeah. But that you realise that it's 2.5 degrees Celsius. You look at that. Big star around there. So, what's its face? Yeah. Got to push against something. Yeah. In our atmosphere, that's right, that's how rockets work. Yes. But when they push against, when they're in the vacuum, there's nothing to push against. Once that gas is released, that's what they're saying. If we threw them in a vacuum, there would be nothing happening. Right. You've got all the codes. Get rolling.
Yeah, that wind is coming when you will walk back over that side. Who's put that there then?
That's Earth. Yeah.
in the model.
Yeah, let me give you a leaflet before you go.
Sorry, your spelling and grammar is appalling.
Oh,
Can't read anymore.
oh, that's okay, sorry.
Waters does not apostrophe S. No.
Oh, sorry, we're
only
talking about this.
one
No,
thing.
we were talking
Yeah,
about
I said
the content.
Tell you what though, isn't it interesting that that's on rise? Cognitive dissonance, oh, I deny that, you know. Very strong, because what is your evidence, or is it a belief, and what is something evidence about it? Well, show me evidence that the plate is flat.
So it's saying believe in Superman, the fairies, pixies, look this
No, say, do you believe it? Say, do you believe in that? Why do you believe it?
Gravity is the swim of the whole vast ocean, 100 miles an hour, vision forward, yet we do not survive the fly. Yeah, I think well, swim of the whole people are building
globe is flat?
Well, it can't be flat.
Yeah, someone reckons it's flat, yeah.
Well, it does spin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It definitely does spin. It does spin, but
He's saying it's flat for some reason.
Henry Cavendish.
well, if
That's
it's
his flat station. We'll find it on Smiles report
well,
around us. Who's lying to me? The world's flat. Yeah. The
it's
world
like
is flat.
if it's flat, like on a map, like how does the world?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's round.
Yeah, good thinking, Liz. Yeah. Did you like it?
You'll be
We're
alive.
always being lied to.
Which earth is fate? The one I live in, I think. The earth is flat or stationary. The planet is by Eric Dubay, whose earth is not spinning for
What is he saying that's the
Yeah,
Earth,
look,
really?
This is the first time I hear about those. Your first reaction when you have those with shock, laughter, scoffing and avoidance.
Yeah.
The flat earth movement is exploding like wildfire and it's not because it's just cool or good distraction. Surprised me the flat earth belief is backed by solid science. And I
No,
don't know
what?
what is it.
If it's like that, where's Australia on that map, huh?
Don't know.
So they're saying that Australia doesn't exist.
Where is it here?
That's Africa. Right, that's Africa, North America. That's Europe. That's Asia. That's South America. That's like the Canary Islands.
Oh, you alright? Yeah. Chilly, isn't it? Yeah, put the leaflet for you.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Anyone?
Our
Sorry?
argument is where's Australia?
Oh!
Because I'm off there a couple of
That's
weeks.
right, that is Australia.
Oh, there, lives there.
Yeah, and it's kind of everything's a little bit more stranger. Yes, go on.
The pattern in all this.
Yes.
What's on the other side of this plane?
And it might not. Some flat earth people, like myself, some people believe it's infinite. Some people think that there is an edge. Some people think that's a globe. We don't know. There's certain things that we don't know. What we do know is that we are being lied to. We know the way water behaves.
Yeah.
We know it's flat. We know it finds its level. We know it doesn't go round bendy spheres. Yeah. So we know the way water behaves. Aeroplanes, when they go over the globe, they don't dip their nose. They don't every sort of 100 miles. They don't. Oh, let's dip a little bit more. Let's dip a little bit more. Let's dip a little bit more. They don't do that. They fly to the artificial horizon, and they fly level.
Okay.
And if you get, I don't know if you know, on your phone, you've got a level on your phone. If you take it, if you put that, it's got a MEMS device inside that. If you put that on your lap and fly somewhere on a long distance, you'll never see it move. It flies level. You'll see it move on takeoff. You'll see it move on landing, but you'll never see it ever move.
Okay.
Strange.
And I mean, I've heard this theory before.
Yes.
And it's fascinating.
Yes. It's a struggle to get your head around, but you need to kind of like find. Well, I mean, we know the way shadows behave. You know, can you make a shadow smaller than itself? Is it possible? How?
You're moving closer to it.
Really? Because you cannot make a shadow smaller. We can't even show you here. Your shadow will be the same size as your hand if I put my hand there.
Yeah, but the further you would move away, the bigger the shadow is.
Bigger shadow goes, that's right. But you can't make it smaller than itself.
Oh,
You can make it the same size. You're quite right. And therefore, we've got shadows that are, what's it, for the eclipse, I've actually made a mistake with that. That's actually wrong. It should be the picture of the Earth.
Do they think it's just Earth that's flat as well, or is there other planets?
Well, we don't even know that then planets exist. Because what we do see is some sort of 2D light in the sky. We see that. We see 2D images of, let's say, Saturn or something. They're your stars. If you take a telescope and you'll see them twinkling and making these fascinating colours. I mean, you've heard the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." You want to see them dance. You know, they are fascinating. They are stars. Not what you see. I mean, trillions and trillions of miles away stars, and yet we can get these fantastic colours of them dancing in the sky. They're not what you're being told.
It's all an illusion anyway. It's a hologram.
Well, the thing is, do you believe your government to tell the truth to you?
Nope.
and the thing is, you know, like, say, if the government's not telling the truth, do you believe NASA tells the truth to you?
No,
so you're halfway there.
I'm not.
I would have believed them and just said yes. I would have. You know, why have they got to lie? But then I started realising about all the propaganda that they do about trying to get people to go to war and to murder people and things over what? Over land and oil and oil. You know.
Yeah, I don't believe all that the government. I don't believe all that the government tells us the truth about anything.
No.
It's bullshit.
That's right.
But I couldn't tell you. I don't participate in it at all.
Yes.
I don't know you.
No.
No.
I think you will find most of common people.
Yeah. Let me grab you a leaflet.
You know, even when they change governments, they change parties, it doesn't affect my life in the slightest.
See this? That is the Isle of Man, and this is taken from Blackpool Promenade. That's 65 miles away. Now, if you believe in the globe and you believe in curvature, you should not see that. That should be hidden.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And there's so many. There's so many. Long distance places that we can see that we shouldn't be able to see.
Because if it was.
And if that was the case, I mean, lighthouses wouldn't work if they were like on a globe. I mean, like.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, I've read this before. You know, and I was the Mandela effect.
Mandela.
Oh my God!
That's right. It's freaky. It is.
And we were
very freaky.
Like, my friend, we were like, she was like, check this out. What colour is the leg?
Oh, CP30.
Right. And we were like, I can't remember what it was myself.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's go through all the archives of it. Check it out. What colour is it now?
It's maddening.
And then they did a Star Wars at the museum, and she actually bought a ticket to go in to ask them to see what colour the leg was.
My problem was the genie, Kazam. Is it Shazam? Kazam?
I can't remember.
Well, there's a genie there, and like, it's just mad because there's this chap who was on this film called The Genie or something. And I was convinced that they're telling lies, like that. Someone's changed the world or something in some way.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Look, this is a massive one.
Yeah.
That is in the thermosphere. It's between 2,000 and 2,500 degrees Celsius. Okay, it's hot. So like they kind of say, it gets cold in space. That's rubbish. If you go on to Google,
it does get cold.
It does.
Yeah,
that's right. But then it starts getting hotter. If you go onto Google's website, which is tied into NASA and that, it's their science. We're not making this up. That's what they say. If you go onto Google and say how hot is the thermosphere, it will come back with that figure. All them figures are from Google. Okay. Aluminium and titanium are the main components of satellites and the space station. They melt at 660 degrees. And the thermosphere is what? Really?
There's a slight hole in there, theory.
That's their science. That's nothing to do with what we've made up. That's kind of like you go onto Google and like you check their facts and then check it against Wikipedia, and it all matches up. Check it with NASA. It all matches up. Do you want to hear the biggest shock of all?
Yeah.
You have never seen a photograph of the Earth ever in your life.
Taken with.
There has never been a negative. They cannot show you any negatives of any photographs. Okay, and it says quite clearly on NASA's website that they are all composites.
I'm made up of.
And then what they do, they stitch them all together and put them on a blank 3D sphere, and then they wrap it all around. They used to do it. It used to be an artist. I don't know if you've seen lifestyle pictures of cans. Here's a real can, and there's a painting.
Yeah,
and you can't tell the difference. Like some artists are that good. But that's what the original, so-called, and it says quite clearly, They show composite images. They do not show you photographs. You have never seen a photograph of Earth
So
ever.
if the flat is Earth, sorry, if the Earth is flat, so what?
Well, yeah, okay. So what?
I mean, that's a naive question, but so what?
Well, NASA's taken 53 million per day. Okay, NASA, 53 million a day. NASA is taking. Look at all the starving kids all around.
Pounds, in money.
Oh, sorry, dollars. Okay, yeah. But all the starving kids all around the world, and the people that are hungry, and the people who are kind of like homeless on the streets and things.
Yeah, that's down to charities as well, but only paying 17% in it.
Well, 53 million. Do you not think that money could go somewhere else?
Oh, yeah, of course it could. Of course it could.
That's
So all
disgusting.
this
That
is
is.
a whole, the NASA thing and all that stuff have been hoax.
You've seen
Yes.
Zeitgeist?
It's a hoax.
Well, have you heard of bubbles in space? Go on to Google and then type in bubbles in space. Sorry, YouTube. Bubbles in space.
Zeitgeist, have you seen that?
Who?
Zeitgeist.
No.
Zeitgeist, pump that in on YouTube, right? Z-E-I-G-I-S, Zeitgeist, right?
Okay.
And it's to do with all this, but it's also to do with, you know, all the religions, that's all bullshit.
I struggle with all that. I really do. Anything to do with religion. It's just
It's a money making.
I'm agnostic.
Zeitgeist would open your eyes.
Okay, I'm not an atheist, and I am an agnostic. But here's one of the reasons. A lot of flat earthers believe that they're hiding God. You know, I say I'm not religious. I'm an agnostic. You know, but I am open-minded. I never realised I was open-minded. I am open-minded for new ideas. I know what at school we were indoctrinated and brainwashed into thinking that we live on a globe with no proof, no critical thinking. You're 5 years age, for God's sake. I mean, where was your critical thinking at 5 years age when you first seen the globe?
I think we was a big what do you call it? What's the word? What am I looking for?
I don't know, I can't read your mind.
You remember in school you had the monkey, the picture, didn't you? The little monkey going all the way up to man.
Evolution.
Yes.
You know, and then if you look at evolution, how quick it's gone from being writing on a chalkboard at school.
Yeah.
It's on the computer. You
Yeah.
think that quick.
Well,
You
we
get
are,
me?
but I think we are.
See, I just think that
Leads
that's ridiculous. So, like the evolution and we come from
Crystal
monkeys.
skulls.
Yeah, I've seen that. But I think it's ridiculous. I mean, the thought that we came from a bang of nothing, the Big Bang, it's just nothing, and then something, and then all this. And then if you just take an apple seed and look at it under a microscope and see the complexity and how brilliant it is, and it'll come from a Big Bang of nothing. I might be a bit stupid, but I'm not that stupid. You know.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Right, so that's it. But obviously, I'm like you. I mean, people always say, well, where did God come from?
Yes.
But there must have been, no one asked where these gases and things that made the Big Bang come from. There must have been a beginning somewhere, mustn't there? Do you not think?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, a lot of flat Earth people kind of think about.
We don't know. No. Yeah, have a read of that. Have an open mind.
I have an open mind.
Yeah.
I probably won't read it if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm going to give it you back because straight away, that our connotations for me at school, which I don't quite believe in. I don't believe there's a man in the clouds.
No, he's not in the clouds.
But when I see this, I see this at school.
Yeah, but I think of all the things in the world that you don't know,
But this is my
you should
doctrine
try
from
and be
school.
an agnostic because it is something that you don't know. It's something I don't know. So it's not something that you can refuse. I don't refuse God now. You know what? I'm a little bit more open-minded towards God now, just a little bit. I thought I was kind of atheist agnostic, like on the borderline, thinking, oh yeah, but. Too many buts, too many beliefs, and too many buts, and too many faiths, and it's a hard one for me.
I've actually heard of this before because I've seen some. I can't remember that thing, but I've seen something about there was this American top Air Force pilot, and he was flying, and he came to I think it was the North Pole or the South Pole, and there was like a big dome sort of. Something trying to stop him going any further.
I heard
and
something
down,
like this.
I forget the guys, and it was some secret thing.
Yeah.
And and it was to do with the Earth being flat. And when he got back, he tried. And I can't remember. I think it was an admiral.
Admiral Byrd.
Bert, that might have been it.
Well,
I can't, this was quite
because
a
he
long
did go
time
to the
ago.
north and that, but he also went to Antarctica as well.
It might have been Antarctica.
Well, when he got to Antarctica, he said that because on flat Earth, everywhere is south. Everywhere is south. Everywhere you go is south.
parking tickets run out.
Yeah. Nice meeting you. Okay. All right. Yeah. So everywhere. But Admiral Byrd, as I say,
That was it, Admiral Byrd. That's the next country.
he was on an interview show on American TV and that. And I say he went down with I think it was about 6 frigates and warships and that. He went down there, and he said on his interview that past the South Pole, past the pole, there is more continents to be found.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
that's
it.
right.
Yeah.
This is Admiral. This is no cuckoo guy, with just some imaginations and that. And then what happened is that he went down again, and they started bombarding. They started throwing up nuclear bombs and things here, testing nuclear bombs against the so-called dome, if you would be.
So are you a local person?
I am. Well, I live in Malden. I
But do you sort of belong to any group of
Oh,
people?
there is there is a group of people called the Fukers. Facebook group, the Fukers.
Oh right, okay.
But I have a channel called Jason of the Disbury Family. That's me. But if you do want to look into it, it's on there as well. Check out 200 proofs that Earth is not a spinning ball.
Yeah.
And even if you get through half an hour, it will blow your mind.
Well, there was a couple of years. This is going back. I think it might have been about 3 years ago. Me and my wife, we were looking at that on the internet for quite a while. But then you forget about things. But
you move on to things.
Yeah. So do you have to get permission to put this up here?
Well, my name is Jason of the Disbury Family, and I feel very strong about freedom of speech and the fact that we are free people, and the fact that this is public land.
Right.
So to ask permission, I wouldn't really care. No. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is part of my taxpayers' money.
Yeah. It's a pity we haven't got something in all the towns like a speaker's corner.
Well, apparently you're meant to have a speaker's corner just down there. One of the edges of the park here on the green and that is meant to be so-called Torquay Speaker's Corner.
Right.
But the thing is, they've kind of restricted it. You can't.
And they kept it quiet. No one knows about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you just type in Torquay Speaker's Corner, you'll see a few films of people going there, but it's not recorded on any map.
But I haven't seen anyone there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well,
I don't know.
I think I'm going up to London in a couple of weeks' time, and I may be going to Speaker's Corner. Maybe.
Yeah, but that is the sort of thing they sort of, because we are so brainwashed into the only news we get is what
media
they want us.
What you want. That's right.
They want us to hear.
On your leaflet is that cognitive dissonance, and this is the struggle that everybody has with new ideas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say I became a Christian when I was 30. Before, I was just total atheist.
Atheist.
I thought.
See, I was agnostic. So.
Yeah, but my dad was actually a communist. He was a member of the Communist Party.
All right.
You see, this was back in the 60s and the 70s, and so it wasn't till I started thinking about things like the thing that struck me really was in the Ethiopian famines when they did all that band-aid and that.
Yes.
I was sitting in my back garden and I was looking up at the sky. That the moon was out, as a summer evening, and I was thinking to myself, a few thousand miles over there's people looking at that same moon, and they're starving to death just because they happen to be born somewhere else. So that started to put me thinking, is it just is there some more purpose to life? If I was being born in Ethiopia, my life would have been very different.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm thinking, what is there more to life? So then I started looking into things, trying to find out. So eventually, when someone told me to read the Bible, and to me,
quite
sort of
a lot of
made
references to
sense.
flat Earth
Yeah.
in the Bible.
Yeah, well, I have heard that, but it's not some, you know, I mean, like I said, you're the first person I've seen with this.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah, that's right.
So obviously that makes you think about things.
Yeah.
again.
The thing is, look at them, all them yachts and all them boats sat there doing nothing. You're on about hungry people in different in different worlds.
Yeah.
Sorry, different countries. I mean, and all of them hundreds of thousands of pounds are sat there doing nothing.
But they never move after them, I don't know.
They never move.
Yeah.
I find that really disgusting. That is.
Something is, yeah, it
Something
is
is wrong with this
Something
world.
is wrong. I think that people's sense, inside you, there's something that tells you it's wrong, and you should, something should be, you should do something or something. But then you know you put it back, and you're bombarded with everything.
Yeah.
The media, like, you know, it's like Christmas time, you know, like you've got to have this, you've got to have that,
That's
you
right.
want it, and
That's right.
there's a sort of thing in us that appeals to I think our baser nature of to materialism. I call it materialism. You know, you want things, and however much you get, it's not enough. You'll never satisfy.
They always say, it doesn't matter how much you earn, you're always broke.
And to me, that seems a bit. Surely, it's like, how much stuff do we need?
Yeah, that's right.
To be happy,
Quite right.
to say we have got enough.
Yeah.
But it never is it? You
No,
always want
you're quite
more.
right. You're quite
Anyway,
right.
I better go.
Yeah,
go
nice
and
speaking to you.
Take
200 proofs. Check that one out.
I will check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, 200
Yeah.
proofs.
Yeah, I'll get this. I'll show it to.
I mean, look at the size of the planet difference. That's 1 year apart. Look how the size of the continent difference.
Yeah.
Is that not ridiculous? Does that not ring alarm bells to say something's wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I said I might look at some of them things on YouTube again, because you know, something takes you know what people are like. We're very, something takes our imagination for a bit. We look at it, then we move on.
I am amazed that for me, every person who is religious, doesn't matter what religion that you come from, if you believe in a god, you should be a flat earther. The fact that you could believe in we all come from a big bang of nothing into something, well, it kind of really goes against every part of believing in a religion.
Yeah, well, but it's like you never see it in life, do you? You can't, and it's impossible. But there must have been a beginning. But then people say, well, what was before the beginning? And you say, well, you can never answer that. You just keep going back and back. How far back do you go before there must have been a beginning?
Yeah.
It's like.
This was created from somewhere. It was created.
Well, there's even scientists now. They say they don't believe in God, but they say there's an intelligent design.
Yes.
There must have been an intelligent
I believe
design.
that. I really do believe that. There's too many magical things. Even like the shell of a snail or something. You know, like if you look how intricate all of that is, it's just come on. It just happened from nothing.
Okay, well, I'll have a look at it. Anyway, I forgot your name.
Jason.
Jason.
And it's on there as well, Jason of the Disbury family.
Right, okay.
That's me there.
Oh, yeah.
If you put that in YouTube, you'll catch me.
All right then, Jason.
All right, nice speaking to you. Bye-bye.
The river
ridiculous, isn't it? Sounds ridiculous.
Well, I was trying to read it.
That's Robert Simmons. He actually works for NASA, and he makes the blue marble. He makes it as a layer of motion. On the radio interview, he talks all about it, and he says that, and if you go onto NASA's website, it says that all images from I mean, like, and then wrapping around 3D sphere, there's never been a negative of a photograph. There is no negatives. You know, if you try and look it on Google, you know, negatives of the original photographs of Earth. They don't exist. It's Blackpool. This is Blackpool. That's the island. It's 65 miles away. You should be able to see that. I mean, you really should be able to see that. 65 miles away. People don't comprehend what that means. But that's over the curvature. And you can easily go through anyone's book there and you don't see any facts. But we see lots of anomalies. That's NASA's official pictures. We've got 2012, 2013. Does it look a little bit odd? The same size birds. Go on their website and check it out. They haven't been doctored. There's so many anomalies. But we're kind of told that we live on a globe, and it seems logical. I mean, we were told at 5 years old, we were shown that we're on a globe at 5 years of age, but never critically thought about it. What proof do we have? What proof was we ever given that we live on the globe? What we have is beliefs. That's all we have is beliefs. Second-hand information. Whether travellers or not. Well, I've not gone very long. No, but I mean, we know the way water behaves. It's flat, it's level, you see a horizon, no matter how high you go, it's flat. And I know it's kind of so obvious, and I've fought against this for so long. And we were told that we are living on the globe, and that Australia's at the bottom, and maybe someone in your class, you know, like put their hand up and said, "Excuse miss, why don't we fall off?" You know, like, because of gravity. But gravity is the theory of gravity. It's never been proved. It's the theory, and it still is a theory. It's density and buoyancy. That's all gravity. Density and buoyancy. But there's so many anomalies. I mean, if gravity existed, why does it let balloons? Why is it so selective and lets balloons go on? We know the reason why, because it's density and buoyancy. We know. But there's I mean, that one's a big one for me. This is the thermosphere. It's between 2,000 and 2,500 degrees Celsius in the thermosphere. It actually gets hotter. We kind of think it's supposed to be. It is cold as you get hot, and then it starts getting hotter and hotter and hotter. In the thermosphere, at 2,500 degrees Celsius, and satellites and International Space Station are most composite of aluminium and titanium. The melting point of them. Really, so how do they exist? I mean, this is not nice and all that. I mean, check it out with that is, it's just ridiculous. We're meant to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. 1,000 miles per hour. That's at the equator. Obviously, as we go on, we're here in England, I think it's probably around like 800 miles an hour. And they say it's all to do with relativity. Why we can't actually do it. I'll accept it if that's the case. But when we get on an aeroplane and we fly to the equator, that's a 200 mile an hour difference. Surely when we get off, people like go, "Hi God, what's going on?" Yes, we do. I know, it seems kind of ridiculous, it seems nonsense, but GPS, people think that they come from satellites, mobile phones, people think they come from satellites, and like, well, they don't. the GPS is from triangulation, just from so the phone is not everywhere. These cells, yeah. They're not in space.
No, so he was you can say that he was the shop.
Robert Simmons. And he makes, let's say, he does it in Photoshop, and he puts layer upon layer, and you can hear him in the radio. If you just type in Robert Simmons in YouTube, you can hear his broadcast on. He works for that. He makes, and before we actually had Photoshop, it would have been an artistic impression. It would have been artists doing that. I don't know if you've ever seen people doing milk cans and bowls of fruit and things, and then put them side by side and saying, tell the difference, which one's the photograph, which one's real, which one's not. You can't tell the difference. That's how good these artists can be. I mean, I don't know which earth is fake. They're all composites. When they got on the moon, and they landed on the moon, and it's the most amazing thing for an astronaut to do in their lifetime. You think that, because if I went up on a mountain, the first thing that I'd want to do is this. Why didn't we ever get that? Why don't we still get that? Why haven't we gone back? Well, there's a thing called the Van Allen radiation belt. Apparently we can't get past it. And there's so many interviews of NASA saying, on the way to Mars, these challenges that we have to overcome to get past the Van Allen belt. I don't wish, because, we had that technology in 1969.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
But there was a famous photograph which allegedly online where there was you could see the wind blowing the flag or something. Allegedly.
And then you've got the shadows, you're going all different ways. So they didn't have they took no light sources up with them. All they had was the sun, so you should have one shadow. And then we've got all these other shadows. I mean, do you believe governments will tell you the truth always? It's always a question I'm going to win with. and the thing is,
governments weren't full of
no, it's
politicians. Yeah,
there's a lot of problems with the gold model. If you try testing it, try prove it to yourself. Try prove that the globe is real. And because it's something real. I mean, 6 months ago, it was just a given. I never questioned it. I kind of thought, well, of course we live in the globe. When I first heard about this, it's just nonsense, stupid. But I was open-minded enough to do. I did the 3-month challenge, and I challenged myself to prove that the globe is real, and all this is rubbish. And I failed. You really can't prove it, because all these pictures are in space of the Earth. I know they're composites. I know they're not real. I kind of know that you can't even be in space because of the temperatures.
Yeah.
And then you sit watch do you remember the rockets go up and space shuttle goes up? They never go up. They go, and then they fly horizontal.
Has he written any books?
Well, that's to say. I mean, he is a globe believer. Yeah. He is he believes in the globe, but he works for NASA. There's quite a few YouTube clips on there, and it's quite easy to find information about it. But yeah, Robert Simmons. If you type in Robert Simmons in YouTube, you'll actually. That's right. I always want to say Simmons. Yes. There's so many anomalies. Planes. I mean, if planes fly over the globe, and we go to Australia, surely every sort of 100 miles or so, we've got to dip the nose. Would that not make sense? Would they have to dip the nose? I know it seems ridiculous to fly one to the artificial horizon. And they do not ever dip the nose. With as pilots is, and they do not dip the nose ever. they fly to any level plane. There's so many pictures of flat Earth. So many pictures of that plane. You know, from top bits. Earth's curvature is 8 inches per square mile. Because it's square mile, so 8 inches, and then it goes to 32 per second mile. So, we can only see about 3 miles. 3 miles is 34 miles across. Okay? But that's probably about 10 miles. We should see a significant drop over the 10 miles. 66 miles. Don't believe any of this. Challenge yourself. That's the thing that bothers me the most, because I know, I mean, like, the Christmas, well, you don't believe that. And then as you grow up, you also believe, don't you? You wake up a little bit. When you ever open up to this globe that we still all believe to, that we hang on to. That's it, we're still 1,000 miles per hour. It's strange. If you do time lapse of the North Star flies, that's what you get. That's what you get. So we're spinning it all down. We're travelling 7,000 miles per hour, and then our sun is travelling at 500,000 miles. And we get it probably isn't on that, but there is that website there. If you go to Dubay, and then 200 for this hospital forward. If you go to there first, you know, like there's a few sites there for you to get your microphone back out, because it's still quite small, isn't it? Yeah. I'll try to fit on quite a lot of information.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what was your number one belief, do you think, that we were on the globe? What do you think it was? I know it was just a given, wasn't it?
Well, like as you say,
But if you think about it now, what do you think it was? I mean, I just said, like before, do you think the governments may tell lies to you? And then it goes down further, do you think NASA may tell lies to you? It's just like, and our education system, I don't believe that our education system is telling lies to us. I think they're repeating and parroting what they've been doing. Yeah, so I don't believe it's all one big piece, because that would be true. Well, we'll give you something to think about. 200 proofs and think of Robert Simmons.
that's right. Okay.
Give you something to think about for Sunday. Indian Isles. That was like 12 hours.
Academics.
There's a lot of academics that come on board with this.
Well, you can say if it's been on the radio now,
they're not hiding the fact that the composites. That is actually they're not hiding it is. This is my second time out. I kind of like I came across this 6 months ago, 200 quid, so I watched half an hour of it. I looked at the ceiling all night, literally all night, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, I got back and I finished off the rest of it. I said, this is just stupid nonsense, but I just wouldn't let go. So I decided to spend 3 months, and I did 12 hour days for 3 months, trying to prove that this is nonsense. And you can't prove it's nonsense, it's not possible. Everything makes sense.
Really?
It's shut. Alright, good.
I don't think he's safe to take photos on it.
It's actually safer than the seafront. Come on. Oh, that's a nice train.
Right at the end, but
No, we'll only go up to the end and back.
can't go that far by the bridge.
know, it seems ridiculous. Yeah, there's a leaflet for you.
Thank you.
It seems nonsense, but if you look on that one, on the other side, that's Blackpool, and that's the Isle of Man. That's 65 miles away, and you should be able to see it.
I'll look at that at my leisure.
Good. If you do get a chance, try that. Go onto YouTube and try that. 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning ball, and give yourself at least half an hour with it.
Right, so basically the premise is we're being lied to.
Yes. I mean, do you believe governments tell you the truth?
Not necessarily, no, but I don't believe that they lie about everything, because
okay.
I wouldn't know what motive they would have for lying to us about this.
Right. Yeah, I'd love to know that.
Well, until when I know something.
Because that's what happens with the crime scene, isn't it? They kind of go in and gather all the facts up first,
would they bother
and then
lying to us about this?
In,
and governments come and go.
How about control? How about money? How about all the people starving around the world that could do with feeding?
I'm not paying anything because the Earth is round. So I don't understand.
Well, but there is £53 million a day that NASA's earning that could go off to poverty.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't prove that what they're saying is
No, you're quite right. But it's all part of a jigsaw puzzle.
The other thing I don't understand is that governments come and go. So for the last 100 years, those people who have been in government have maintained the lie when they left government.
Well, do they know?
Well, they've got no motive.
But what I'm saying is, do they know? Those who get into government, why would they know?
Well, they don't know. But
have you heard of the Manhattan Project? Well,
I must go.
Oh no, that's right. Nice meeting you. Yeah, guys, there's a leaflet. I know it all seems nonsense. I know. It took me 6 months to try and get my head round this, and 3 months to try and prove it all wrong.
So did you see?
I'm here.
You
The thing is, look, I don't know if you know. Do you know where Blackpool is?
Yes.
Kind of up north it is, and we've got there's an island called the Isle of Man just off Blackpool.
Yeah.
That's 65 miles away.
Yeah.
If you know anything about Pythagorean theorem and his equation, you shouldn't be seeing that.
Why?
Because it's 65 miles away. It should be over the curve. All of it, the whole mountain, everything should be over the curve. At 65 miles, it should be over 2,500 feet over the curve, and yet you can see. We see these long distance places, and we don't really give it any thought of why we should see it. I was in there's a place at North Devon called Tintagel, and I was there not so long ago, and I could see Wales right across. You shouldn't be able to see that. That should be over the curve. So, but that's all one part of the jigsaw puzzle of it all. I mean, like our beliefs that we live on a globe. We've never had any proof to it. What proof? What would your number one proof be? What would it be?
Laws of physics.
Okay, in what respect? Don't give me numbers. Don't give me pseudoscience and numbers. Give us like something a bit more tangible than pseudoscience and made-up numbers.
Wait, sorry. What do you call pseudoscience?
Well, something that isn't natural science. Pseudoscience, made up. What's it? Because
what do you call
what we're looking at is was it?
Question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just looking at oh God, what's his name? Sir Isaac Newton. I mean, like he had to he had to invent a part of math to actually make his equations work, which was like so he has this idea that gravity kind of works, but he needs a math to invent it to make it work. So it's kind of like he's trying to prove one thing against the other. That's not. I mean, this is natural science. Look, natural science. We know the way water behaves.
Yeah.
The physics of water is it's flat. It's water.
Go on. Can you explain this one?
Yeah, I mean, like we know the way. I mean, like if I put water in a bath, it remains flat.
Why?
If I sorry.
Why?
So why does it remain flat? Because it's the physics of water.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it remains flat. And then if there's water in a pond, is it concave? Is it tilted? It remains flat. Sorry, it doesn't. Go on, because I need help with that. You think in a pond,
Yes.
it's like that?
Yes.
How do you get to that?
Well, the thing is,
I'm really interested here.
yeah.
You'd be the first person that's ever come up with this.
Well, the thing is that the Earth is actually a sphere.
An oblate sphere at 26 miles.
Well,
Really?
Well, let's assume it is a sphere
Okay.
for now. So it is like this
Okay.
because you look at a very small bit. If you look at a very tiny bit of the Earth compared to its radius.
Right.
So therefore, you can assume it's flat. But if you look at the ocean will look like this.
You think the ocean is
yes.
like that?
Yes.
So when aeroplanes fly around it and they follow the artificial horizon, okay, and they fly around the globe, should they be dipping their nose to go round? Oh, they shouldn't. So they just fly out into space. That's okay. Because they fly to an artificial horizon. The autopilot, when they press the button and the autopilot's on, it does not change. We've seen sensors on the ailerons, and that does not change any pitch whatsoever to go around the Earth at any speed. That doesn't happen. You can check that out for yourself on YouTube.
Yes.
Aeroplanes do not dip.
No, they don't.
But do you not think they ought to?
No.
Oh right, so there's a physics part of that as well.
Yes.
Let's hear this
Gravity.
one. Gravity. Okay. Gravity that is selective, that allows balloons to arise, and it keeps us all firmly to the ground. Allows butterflies to fly off, but holds vast buildings and oceans to the ball.
Yes.
That's your gravity. That is the theory.
Well, that's this gravity.
Yes.
Exactly this word.
That is the theory of gravity, which has never been proven.
And regarding
Could you give me some evidence of how it's ever been proven, gravity?
yes, of course.
Okay.
Take 2 heavy balls.
As in the Cavendish experiment?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the only experiment that no one else can repeat, because it doesn't work. Because there's not. If you go on YouTube and look at all the evidence of people trying this experiment, it doesn't work. Oh, don't take my word for it. I want you to go onto YouTube and check that out for yourself. Because that's right, that's what we're told at school. I was taught that as well. Henry Cavendish proved it. Try it for yourself. It doesn't work.
I will.
I know. I started with this because I know where you're coming from. You've learnt some physics and that, and okay, you know a math, and that's brilliant, and I commend you for it. But this cognitive dissonance, this is the one that we're struggling with, all of us, because this is nonsense, and we have this belief, this core belief inside, and it's uncomfortable when someone approaches us with something that is so different to what we're.
Sure.
Do you know you've never seen a photograph of the Earth? Ever. A photograph. There has never been a negative of the Earth, ever. They give you, this is Robert Simmons, and if you go on NASA's website, it says quite clear that all images of Earth are composites. Mm-hmm. Now you know what a composite is.
Yeah.
That's it. And then they stitch them together around a 3D sphere. He works for NASA. Artistic impressions. Have you not seen how clever that these artists are? That they can paint a picture of a can of Coke that looks so identical to a can of Coke that you couldn't tell whether it was a photograph or not. Have you not seen these? Go on YouTube and see them.
First, like, expedition when they first went to the moon,
But they didn't go to moon. These astronauts, it was something that they wanted to do for all their entire lives. They were excited, they wanted to do that. And then when they get on the moon, what would be the first thing that you would do? Have you ever been up on a mountain or something? Would you not want to do a 360 degree with the video cameras that they had on them? That'd be the first thing that you'd want to do. I know you would want to do that.
Yeah.
So where is this evidence? Why did they only just go like that? That's all you ever saw, and the reason being the fourth wall. In film, you can't see the fourth wall because you get to see all the crew and the booms and the lighting and.
Well, that's a different topic here than one that.
Oh, but it's all connected. All of this, it's all connected.
Yeah, look at my cat.
You know.
I just like done.
Pyramids, yes, right.
Spaceship. He's having it all around, John.
Very good.
We all believe.
Very good. It's nice talking to you. Yeah. Check it out, 200 proofs, it's on there.
We all believe.
Do you? Well done.
Well, we believe that we're from aliens and that we're about to get disclosed.
Okay. I think they're about to disclose something, whether it be aliens or not, because there's lots of theories and lots of...
And I believe that Earth is flat as well, like there's what I've looked into, I think we've got more lands past the Arctic and where other people
Have you done the Admiral Bird interview?
Yeah, I've read the book, I've read his thing,
I've seen that years ago.
Right.
They come out of the
I am so new to all this.
Once you start looking into it though, it's just...
I come across it 6 months and spent 3 months in denial just trying to debunk it all and say this is nonsense, it's rubbish.
It's rubbish. It's not.
Well, it was rubbish 3 months ago. But yeah, no, 3 months later I've got to shout out and tell the world.
Yeah.
If the Earth is round,
okay,
right, like every other
like a
planet
sphere, yeah,
is round, yeah, and it spins like every other.
The 1,000 mile spin.
We ain't flying off. I don't know why. But if it is round, it's spinning like every other thing spins.
Yeah.
Why does the moon move?
The which?
The moon.
Oh, you mean why is it locked into it?
Why is it just
why is it locked?
Orbit?
Yeah.
And it doesn't turn.
No, that's right. Yeah.
You don't have to picture the flight pass because I was trying to tell them about the flight
Well, I've got a little bit. I've got a little bit.
Like, why would they go the long way round?
That's right. This is from Sydney to Santiago. And
rather than go straight across.
That's right, they go up and then they go down.
Why can't we fly over the North or the South Pole? By law. No one's allowed over there.
That's right. I mean, like, no, but no one has ever gone.
No one's gone over it.
Never done that, ever. You know.
Admiral Bird tried to.
Well, that's right. I've got I've got a couple of leaflets here. Grab that one.
Out of the ground. And when he got, when he was
yes,
going across.
Are you not all together? You are together,
Then land. With the water was 38 degrees.
Yes, right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a big one for me. The thermosphere. The International Space Station is in the thermosphere, and it's between 2,000 and 2,500 degrees Celsius. Guess what the melting point of aluminium and titanium is?
I think the whole of the news is lies though. I've said to these, like, just watch The Simpsons. There's more truth in The Simpsons than there is in the news.
Well,
you're quite right.
I know.
If you look into that, there is.
All you need to watch, do not watch the news, it's all a huge lie. All of the media in the whole world is owned by 6 people. 6 people.
Yeah. I laid concrete for a long time. I know how to make concrete. Sand, stone, water, and cement, lime.
Yes, yeah.
In Bosnia they found these pyramids, the biggest pyramids on the planet. The blocks that are holding them together are made of sand, stone, water and clay. Clay you have to fire in an oven to 1100 degrees.
But they didn't have the technology back then.
They didn't have it then.
Yeah.
So how did they make it?
They say they didn't have it.
They've got the blocks which are basically concrete. Romans invented concrete 2,000 years ago.
Exactly.
The layer of clay, then concrete, then clay, then concrete, then clay, then concrete. In the layer of clay they found a leaf that carbon dated it 34,000 years old.
That's right. Yeah.
34,000 years ago they were making clay and firing it in an oven to make concrete. Right, okay.
You've got your pyramids.
Yeah.
Are they the 3 pyramids in Giza?
Well, not sure. We just had to.
It looks like, and they're aligned to the star, stars and that.
Orion's belt. Seriously.
This is our star, isn't it? Polaris. And if we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, travelling at 67,000 miles an hour, and our sun is travelling at 500,000 miles an hour. Based on them pyramids, why have they never moved? Yes, it's just the most ridiculous thing.
Oh no, we're stupid. We don't know anything. We're the masses. We should just do as we're told.
That's right.
Taxes. Sorry, where's the law that you show me any law that says anybody has to pay tax?
Oh, that's right.
Well, window tax, value-added tax.
I
got daylight robbery, isn't it?
But the planet's free. That's why I'm not worried about those parking tickets. The planet's free. The water's free. The earth's free.
Well,
the planet's free.
I've just been told off for being here, and I just turned around and said, I'm sorry, I am a free person.
Did he or she, the person that was talking to you, telling you, off, you're not allowed to do it. Did they have a Bible in their hand?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, they soon will.
Nice meeting you. Okay then, bye bye.
No one can look so far. No one can pretend the future. Still a one step from us. No one can bend the stars. Half of the world does use a telephone yet. And over here a new generation born with internet. Facing a mass revolution that they call progress. Live for the old and on the workless. Less stress, mobility, no more offices. The world has a word space. This is what you're facing. Face it, embracing. Mixing of our races. Shifting all our forces. New world are the treading on his course. No one can look so far. No one can pretend the future. Still a one step from us. No one can bend the stars.
New world order. A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
To find resources in out of space. Have a microchip installed and your heart replaced.